What double standard are you tired of? Your boss getting angry if you're a couple minutes late, but then expects you to have no problem regularly staying on 2+ hours after your shift is meant to end. Why is dental insurance different from health insurance? Aren't teeth part of my overall health? WTH. Eyes too. Yes. I can barely see without glasses. I certainly can't drive or do most kinds of work without them. Why does insurance treat it as a separate thing? I do the billing for an eye doctor, and it's even more stupid than you'd think. Just about any eye problem you could have is considered a medical issue, and we bill as a medical specialist just like a dermatologist or ENT. But if you can't see without glasses? Not a medical issue. You need separate vision insurance for that. Dry eyes? Covered under medical. Pink eye? Covered under medical. Glaucoma, or retinal diseases? Covered under medical. Legally blind without glasses, but just fine with glasses? Duck you, that's not a medical problem. You need separate vision insurance for that. Yeah, I've always found it funny that the state says, as printed on the back of my license, that I am legally unable to drive without eyeglasses, but somehow that's not a medical issue when it comes to insurance. I literally have proof given by the state government that I have this issue, but nope. Separate thing. Just sounds like a well-documented pre-existing condition to me. Insurance companies, probably. Politicians being able to openly violate the law and nobody does anything. To borrow from Matt Haig, people being okay with mental illness until someone shows symptoms of one. 100%. People like to talk about being cool with it, act all understanding, and then get super hostile if someone with untreated mental illness shows up. They don't mind it when they can't see it, but can't handle it when they actually see it in action. If anyone is feeling depressed, please reach out to me, so I can encourage you to cut that shit out. My middle school constantly preached that students could come to teachers with any issues bothering them. That went right out the window if you actually tried, though. Oh, you're being bullied to the point of depression and self-loathing? Just ignore it, you'll be fine. You're so stressed from the workload that you're struggling to keep up with classes? Too bad, so sad, now finish your psych paper. COVID restrictions applying to regular people but not celebrities or politicians. My favorite was UK Health Minister carrying on an affair with his assistant whilst going on TV and telling us not to hug our loved ones. Sounds like he wasn't hugging his loved ones either. Consumers are expected to curb the use of their plastic waste and carbon by corporations and regulatory bodies alike, while Nestle will destroy a natural habitat to make bottled water in plastic bottles and dump the waste into your grandma's urn if it's affordable. Celebrities lecturing about climate change when they have the carbon footprint of a small town. Leonardo DiCaprio is particularly despised in Belize because a few years back he visited the Akshun Tunik Muknal cave, which entailed him flying in with a private helicopter while his bodyguards denied everyone access to the area. All the locals had to wait to resume work for over an hour while he sloshed around with his guards. DiCaprio actually flew on a private jet to take an environmental award and failed to notice the contradiction. Entry-level jobs that require experience. They think it weeds out the ones with no experience, but it just gives them candidates who are prepared to exaggerate or lie. It's also concerning how often I see stuff like 5 years experience with this thing that came out like a year or two ago on job requirements. Looking for a squid gamer, need 5 years experience, must have a veteran presence, must be first-time player. Amazing example. How it's perfectly okay for a potential employer to ask your salary expectations even before an interview, but a candidate asking what the job pays is somehow a red flag for our and a big no-no. Like, if all the employer cares about is what I will cost them, before learning anything else about me, then I should be able to ducking ask too. But no, I'm branded as only caring about money. And you don't, you corporate prick? Edit, lots of replies from folks who've had an easier go of things. Without sarcasm, I celebrate your successes. My op was speaking to generalities I've observed in corporate hour over a couple decades. Edit too, couple of folks are saying that this never happens anywhere and my op is utterly removed from reality. Lol KPPL. Must be nice to have a perfect life. Edit 3, a few recruiters our people have also weighed in here. Your insights are appreciated since it's good to hear from the other side of the hiring fence, but sadly, a goodly percentage of them agree with the sentiment of my op. My manager at work not paying for her drinks but not allowing staff to even get staff discount for theirs. If that's just a manager and not the owner, I bet the owner would like to hear about it. And if it is the owner, that's fine to me. If it's the owner, it comes out of their pockets regardless. Exactly. Parenting double standards. The gender of the parent does not make the parent. Dads are not babysitting their children, they are parenting. Also I've had to fight this in the kindergarten my child goes to. Because all information, news, calls go only to my wife's phone. Even though for past years I've been the one who has brought and picked up the kid every day. Wife is working long days, but I'm remotely. This is an ongoing battle at my kid's school. I, the mom, work in an office. I cannot leave in the middle of the day to do things because my job is very busy and I have to be here to do it for privacy reasons. My husband, the dad, is a full-time student right now, but it's all still online. While, yes, he is very busy with classes and homework, he is the parent who does all drop-offs, pickups, parent-teacher meetings, class parent days, all of it. I obviously help when I can, but he is the one who does most of it. The school will still call me if a kid is sick or forgot their lunch or anything happens. The same conversation happens every time. Can you please call their dad? I'm at work and unable to leave, but he is the first parent to contact. They always respond with, well, we like to call mom just in case parents didn't fill out the paperwork correctly. Are you kidding me? My husband is not my roommate. He is their parent. Have you legitimately called them on that, huh? That seems like a sexist policy. Who do I need to talk to change that? Customers being able to verbally and sometimes physically assault workers while the worker just has to stand there and take it or they'll be fired. One time at a local grocery store, a clerk straight up told a shouty guy to duck off. Saw the same clerk a week later, was pretty impressed. I once told an impatient prick to duck off while working at a retail pharmacy for being too entitled to wait in line. The other customers took my side real quick, thankfully. I also got praise from the store manager, but it's a long story. Small town politics helps sometimes for better and for worse. Apparently, politicians are allowed to disrespect the citizens of the country they serve, but it's frowned upon to tell a politician to go duck yourself to their face. Respect is respect. No matter if it wears a suit or what language it uses. My principal taking days to read and reply to my emails, if ever, versus me being told at 8 in the morning that I should have known something because he sent me an email at 10 in the evening the night before. Reminds me of a power-tripping boss. They know they're being unreasonable, they just enjoy the power trip they get by making you feel like you're incompetent. Don't let it bother you too much. It's just an evil little mind game narcissists love to play. I know that. In fact, I genuinely believe he's sincerely incompetent in keeping up with his inbox. It just bothers me because while bad management hurts profits in a business, in a school, it hurts the quality of the service and, in the end, the kids. It's so frustrating. After swim practice when I was 11, my friends pushed me out of the shower room and held the door closed when a bunch of older ladies were getting together for water aerobics. One of them was my teacher. They laughed and I just stood there naked pushing on a door. Nobody got in trouble. If they pushed a girl naked out of the locker room and held the door, it'd be on the news. Me, a non-smoker, being told off for being 5 minutes late to work. While smokers spend 30 minutes at least a day on smoke breaks. I just wander off and have a cup of tea every time the smokers head off on a break. My boss did comment, so I told him I was addicted to caffeine, so had to. He didn't have an answer to that. Old coworker of mine started going out for apple breaks when the smokers would go out. He'd go out and eat an apple for the same amount of time the smokers would take to finish up. An apple a break keeps the boss away. Basic laws not applying to people with money or power. I thought the US was based on an idea that nobody was above the law. Punished by a fine is legal for a price. And that's if they even get fined. If the penalty for breaking the law is a fine, then that law only exists for the lower class.